Yo, what's going on, kinfolk? Welcome back to the Key to the City podcast. I am your host, Yoni G, your country kinfolk, and welcome back, man. We are on episode 30 of season 2. Can you believe it? We're still rolling along, and I appreciate everybody that's been supporting, commenting, liking, sharing, whatever you've been doing to spread the word, man. I sure appreciate it. You didn't have to do it, but you did, and it doesn't go unnoticed here at Key to the City. I want to thank everybody that tuned in to our last episode and thank our last guest. We had Dr. Corey Wiggins of the Mississippi NAACP. He's executive director there. We were discussing some post-election happenings and just seeing how we should move forward as a culture after this election, most recent election, intense election, but we got through it nevertheless. And just like the interview with Dr. Wiggins, we're going to continue to give you quality content, quality guests, and this episode is no different. We're going to be talking about that mula today, financial literacy, financial education. And the gentleman that I have on the show with me, I've never met him personally, but I just see how he moves on social media. He's a very positive brother. I like that about him. And he's always trying to inform and educate. And especially when in regards to our money, one of the closest things next to breathing as far as needs are concerned. So we'll be speaking to him, find out a little more about his background, what started him on the path of financial literacy, and any tips and resources he can give to us to make our lives a little bit easier financially. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the city. Mr. Daryl Arnold, what's going on, boss?
What's going on, baby? It's a pleasure to be here.
Hey, man, we thank you for stopping through, man, and sharing a little bit of time with us. How your day going so far?
Man, it's a beautiful day, man. In California, just enjoying the sunshine. That's all.
That's what I forgot to mention. I forgot to tell my audience. I made a whole post last week about this week we'll be jumping off the Cali edition of Key to the City. I just want my audience to know I did not make it. I had to reschedule. They say it's kind of chilly out there, and I was going out there to live my best beach life. So I'm going to have to reschedule and catch my man Daryl in person next time. But I'm glad he thought enough of me to stop through now. Give us a little bit about your background, Daryl. Where you from, man? How you end up in Cali? I want to know
that. So I was born out here in California when I was a young child, but I came back to the city of Jackson, Mississippi. I was raised by my grandparents, North Jackson, and I was raised by them. And they just passed away not too long ago. My granddad, the last of the dying breed. But hey, I'm here to keep those spirits alive because spirits don't die; they just multiply. So I'm a beacon of his light. So I'm just bringing all that energy that they installed into me and all that the mentorship. Just being a man of your word and everything else. So definitely that's where I'm from and everything. So I'm from Jackson. I moved out here because my dad been out here ever since I was young. So I decided to come back out to the West Coast. I wanted something different, wanted to see what the big city can give. And I came out here perfectly just for basketball purposes for the most part. But I went overseas a couple of times. I was training, coaching and all that. But I decided to put some of those things away because it wasn't fulfilling enough for me. So I decided to get into something that can really give me fulfillment and keep me intact to what I want to do and what's my core beliefs. My core beliefs are just to keep uplifting the next person. So to keep giving whatever that I can give, any knowledge that I can give, any tips that I can give them. So I decided to come and understand what financial education is all about, and I understand the importance of it. But secondly, I understand the importance how to give it the information without making it seem so distrustworthy. Because I know in a lot of sectors in our community, a lot of times people give the information out, but they don't give it with love. They just go right into it. I always want to sell and this and the third. No, you got to really educate your client about what this is, what is that, what's the difference between this. You have options. You don't have to be in a box. And I think that's one thing that I've realized about my personality, the same thing when it comes to being a teacher. It's all about stop putting yourself in a box. God all created us in a different light, a different approach. So you got to understand how to really get outside of that so you can really get to that next level in whatever aspect that you want to get into in your life.
Facts. Did you attend college?
Yes, I went to Piney Woods, but after I graduated Piney Woods, I went to 3 different schools. So I went to
Sound like me, boy.
oh yeah. Yeah, I went to Southeastern Louisiana for a short stitch, 1 year, freshman year. Then I went to USM to meet up with some of my other colleagues that I knew through the way. Maurice Bolden, Jeremy Wise, some of those cats. They was at USM, and I wanted to go to Southern Miss to, be back with my family because Omar Carter was the one that trained me with basketball. And he was really one of my biggest mentors growing up and teaching me about just being strong headed and actually getting things done because he was a visionary, man. He's the one that trained a lot of people in the city of Jackson, especially when it came to the hoop scene, from Monte Ellis to so many others. Malik Newman. So I had, I've seen this up close and personal. So yeah, once I did that, once I went to USM, it didn't work out like I wanted to. So I finished up at Belhaven, and that's in Jackson. So I decided to come back home. My granddaddy sat down to me in the church. He sat down with me. He was like, "Hey, promise me that you gonna come back home and take care of me and your mom." And I said, "Yes, sir. I got
What's up?
you."
That's what's up. When you mentioned earlier that your personality, you're able to present information in a way that people can really grasp it, and it really doesn't fly over their heads. I'm glad you mentioned that because I also like that you go deeper into detail in regards to finances, and you talk about the time value of money and rule of 72. Tell my audience about the rule of 72. I'm familiar with it, but tell my audience how important the rule of 72 is right quick.
So the basic concept is 72 divided by the interest rate number. So whatever your interest rate number is, that's how long it will take for your money to double. So for instance, we can talk about it can be negatively or positively. So if we're talking about if you have a credit card debt or something like that, you can see like, okay, this is how much interest they're going to put on to how long if I haven't been paying the bill or whatnot, if it's a credit card. Or if you're looking at the other side of it, you're like, okay, how much money is I'm really grossing and how long it's going to take for my money to grow if I have it in this product. If we look at our banks, most of the banks is only going to give you 2% at the most.
Preach.
So we put 72 divided by 1, that was 72 years. So you're looking at 72 years for your money to double. So why would you want to wait so long for your money to double when you have other things out there that you can actually get into that's going at 8 to 10, maybe even 12, depending on what carrier, what product it is, it can go up to 20%. And that's just a variation of what you can be getting.
Yeah, man, y'all do your research on the rule of 72. Become more educated in that aspect. I learned that probably 8 to 10 years ago, and it was definitely something I didn't know beforehand. So you don't know what you don't know. So what was there any experience that put you on a path on this financial literacy path, or is just something that's always been deep inside you?
Well, it was definitely a path because, coming from a middle class family, coming from my grandparents, very humbling experience being in Jackson, and just having the ability to use basketball to go across the world. But I never thought that I could be nothing more. I always thought that I could just be comfortable. But when I realized that like I don't have to be comfortable, I have to change that mindset because we look at every sector of business. If you look at any sector of business, they did not do it alone. I think we have this conception that we think that, if you want to be a millionaire, you have to be self-made or something like that. No, it's that you have a product or service that you can have other people tie into, and then you have other people going into. You don't invest your own money into that. It's just like if we're looking at some of the big we can look at entertainment. I'm gonna go to entertainment, then I'm gonna go to some other people. So let's look at somebody like Master P, for instance, or
Yeah.
Jay-Z. They was one. That's one person, but they realized they could not do it alone. So they had people that's on them that did certain things, other aspects, so they can have a conglomerate of money coming in because they had other products and services given out, regardless of whether it was a clothing line or if it was something else. So they realized that, okay, yeah, I need somebody, I need to have a distribution system. I need to have this and that and the third. So now they have money coming in different ways, just like Amazon. Now look at Amazon. What did Amazon first come out with? They just did books at first. Now,
Right.
now look at the sector of how big and how the economy has shifted. Now just think about it for a second. If Amazon wasn't good right now, we'd be like, man, we'll be still taking 2 or 3 weeks to be shipping out stuff. Now we wait for the next two or 3 days. So we got to get out of that mindset of like, okay, we can have another sector. So once I realized like, okay, I had to learn these basic concepts and so I had to change in my mind of how I view money, because how you view money comes from your past. It comes from your past experience.
Yep.
So I mean, what I used to get out of it when I heard about money was it's something that's pretty much awful or something. I had this niche. It was like, I want to get in something that just gives me just enough so I don't have to worry about the money issues. Because coming up, my dad, he was always talking about you need to get some money, this and that and the third. I had so many opportunities. I wanted to do other things, but he always deteriorated me to go in different paths because he was like, ain't no money in that, ain't no money in this. So I looked at money a different way. So I didn't value it. I didn't understand it. So that's why once I got into this, I was like, okay, now it makes sense. I have a clear vision. I understand the views of money wasn't exactly what money is. It's about the what I had, what attachments that I had to it, what I went through as a kid. That's how I looked at money. So now I look at it totally different. I need it because it's a value. Regardless of how much money I make, now I have more tools. I have more resources to actually build more things. All right, I have more money. I can do more things. If I have little money, I can't do too much. I only can do a little bit. But if I have more money, I get more resources. I can do this. I can do that. So that was the biggest thing for me, is just changing my dynamic of understanding what money is.
Do you believe that people should have even a basic level of financial literacy before attempting to make more money? Because sometimes it could be a misconception that in order to solve my financial problem, I just need to make more money. But if you're making bad decisions when you have little money to when you have a lot of money, you're probably going to be in the same place, and your problem's just going to expound.
Exactly. I mean, we see it all the time. We look at athletes. Look at all the athletes that we've seen through the years that had got so much money and then they blew it. You're like, how?
Right.
So
right.
It doesn't correlate. You got to understand, regardless of what you were, wherever you are in your specific life, you need to know basic concepts so you can actually know how you can invest your money, how you can protect your money, and then protect your income. Because at the end of the day, whatever job that you work in, all right, if you don't have the ownership of it, they can get rid of it. And if they can get rid of you, do you have money coming in? Do you have something coming in that you could be paying for those bills that you may come across? Can you still keep the lights on in your house? These are things that's very drastic, and a lot of people are losing a lot of people jobs. I mean, a lot of people have been losing a lot of jobs through this crisis. All right. I look at it. I think it's about 58 million people have lost their jobs, or most of the people are on EDD or whatever the case may be. They need this unemployment, and that's why they want the next stimulus check. But what if you got the stimulus check, but you're not budgeting right? You just say, oh yeah, I'm gonna go give me some, the freshest shoes or the freshest this and that third. Is that really gonna help you out in the long run?
Right.
So, these are some things that we got to start thinking about. It's certain things that you do not need, you just want. But it's all about levels to it. Now you can splurge on yourself. I'm not saying that. Because I mean, regardless of what culture you are in, you can splurge. But I'm saying, understand your limit, understand where you can go, and what's your next goal, especially when you're talking about financial. So I really believe that you need to understand the basic concepts of, what it is that you need, like having a basic budget. Like, all right, this is how much I gross, all right, this month. So this is how much my expenses are for this month. This is how it usually is on the basics. Now I may get a little bit more money. Okay, I can put a little bit of this away. All right, I got this to save a little bit. I have emergency funds. I have this and that and the third, because now you becoming responsible. And now you're responsible with your money, but now you're responsible for everything else. Because with anything in life, you got to have discipline. Self-discipline is the biggest thing that you need. So I don't care if we talk about money. I don't care if we talking about how you drink, how you eat. It's all discipline. So that's basically all it is. It's just about self-discipline and being self-aware of everything.
Facts. Key to the City podcast. We got my kinfolk Daryl Arnold in the city with us. What do you prioritize first? I battle with myself. I have years of experience in banking, but I have put myself in financial situations in the past. I just like to know everyone's opinion on it. What do you prioritize, saving or paying off debt first?
You always want to pay yourself first. Always pay yourself first. Always pay yourself first, because that debt is going to be there. But you can pay yourself off first. And secondly, you can have some debt protection or something like that, or knowing how you can, it's strategies that you can actually pay off that debt. You can be paying, like credit card bill. Say if your credit card is, you got $3,000, you can be paying it, twice a month. Or you can be, just taking a little payments. All right, I'm put $40 here, then put another $40 at the end of the month. So you can kind of strategize how you want to get some of that debt done, but you definitely want to pay yourself first, because at the end of the day, you are the one that made that money.
Right. And especially during times of crisis right now, when everything is so uncertain, we want to have some liquid cash we can put our hands on. So how can somebody that's been making terrible financial decisions their entire life, they see this episode, it sparks something in them, what can they do today to start making things turn around for them?
Slow process. All right. Like I said, I would advise everybody to get a budget. So understand what you are grossing. Understand that. Understand what you're grossing and what is your expenses. All right. When you look at your expenses, look at some things that you may need to cut out. Maybe if it's, it may be cable or something like that. I understand that all of us, you want some entertainment, but it's some certain channels that you may not even be watching, or certain programs that you may not be watching. You may want to take some of that out. All right. When it comes to food and dining out and all that, okay, maybe I don't want to go out so much. Especially with this, with this, you can't travel too much. So okay, let's take a little bit of that out. All right, let's talk about some of the other savings that we may be doing, some of the food that we may be eating. Okay, maybe I need to take a little bit of this out. All right, I'm always splurging on food. Let me take some of that away. Just minor little stuff that you really already been doing, but you're just taking a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm taking $30 here. I'm taking $30 away from there. Maybe start using coupons that you may be using. All right. Especially online, you got coupons and all this type of stuff now that you can start getting coupons. And then, some people that you maybe are just trading off, as well as understanding that, hey, you can get you a home-based business. There's certain types of businesses now that's on YouTube and all this type of stuff that you can actually build your own business. Just being at the house, researching different things. Or you can talk to me and I can teach you about some other avenues that you can actually understand how to, value your money and have a business opportunity or something like that. So, yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that. A couple more questions for you. I'm glad you mentioned that. Do you believe, because I read books like, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, things like that. And he really talks about creating a stream of income, passive income. But most of the time that, and I can speak for myself and my family, when you get into a financial bind, your first mind is to go out and get another part-time job. What's your thoughts on that? Because I feel like that time is more expensive than that change I'll be bringing in.
Yep. So it all depends on what sector of business that you're trying to get into. You got to understand your audience. You got to understand how to market, and you got to understand that it's going to pay. You have to pay for marketing and advertising and all that good stuff. So you got to you got to put all those things in accord so you can actually budget out. Because I think a lot of times when we want to start a business, we got to start budgeting the whole complete picture and understanding that, and actually knowing how to take your stats and understanding how many people have you related to, talk to, and stuff like that. Because, all right, in the 7 days, all right, how many people have you contacted about your business? How many people have you really reached out? How many people have reached back out to you? Have you did any follow-ups with that person to actually see what they want from you, what kind of customer service that you have? Because at the end of the day, whatever product or service that you have, it does not matter. It's all about how you relate a message to somebody.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, you're right about that. And a personal question of my own, man, how much, in your opinion, would how much would an individual, let's say they have a spouse and one kid, what's a reasonable salary if they say, I want to get out of Mississippi, I want to live in LA? What's a
now, you know,
what,
saying
30,000 in Mississippi would be like what, 60,000 almost?
yeah, I would say you gotta. I would say you had to look at the price of living in the next gen. I mean, in the next. I mean, like, let's look. We gotta look at the price of living as well as the wages. Now, on average in America, on average it's $7.25. I think 7.25, 7.50. That's the average across the United States. But it's different states that give you a little bit more. Now here in California, our average salary is $15 an hour. So you can know that you paying. I mean, you get 15, but the price of living is a little bit more expensive. Living in a 1-bedroom apartment out here, on average, in a pretty decent neighborhood, can run you $1,500-$1,700. All right, just living in a decent one, and that's about 600, 700 square foot at the most. Now, if you want a 2-bedroom, you may can get it under 2,000, but you're gonna be stretching. But you can. Now, so that's just the price of living, and it all depends on what type of lifestyle that you want, and what are your expectations. So I will always say, value, and always look at, what is the pros and cons of where you're trying to go to. And I understand that Mississippi is not one of the best states, because of, it's still stagnant in a lot of areas. It's one of the lowest paying states in the union, that in Louisiana, but it's okay, because it's a retired state for the most part. So I can see why a lot of millennials are moving out and venturing out to other cities and states. I always look at some of the biggest cities that's really going on, and I know that Austin, Texas, like #1 city right now, as well as somewhere. I mean, a lot of places in North Carolina are booming up as well in the top 10, top 15 area. Colorado, I think Colorado Springs is like 3 or 4. So like, yeah, I would really say you really want to do your research. Okay, whatever job I have, what can I transfer there? If I'm transferring to that job, or do I have an ownership of, if I'm gonna get a business out there, what am I doing? How am I going to move out there? And then seeing what is the most that you can pretty much make, or what's the least that you can make, and start factoring those things out, because you want to know, if you're gonna be trying to get a house, or you're gonna get an apartment, or you're gonna get a condo. Understand your lifestyle. Are you gonna drive out there? Are you fly out there? How you gonna move your stuff? So I think you need to really break everything down and put that in consideration, because I don't want you to just jump in and think you're finna move without doing the right the right steps, because you need to know all those things, because those are very important to understand.
Yeah, facts. Y'all listen to this man. Do proper research. Don't think you're gonna be making 50,000 living like a Kardashian out there, because it ain't gonna happen. Cause I'm telling you right now. What's some websites, man, or some resources that people need to know about that they can reach out to start getting educated on a few of these topics?
Definitely, I can just put my website in the chat or whatnot, but I do have my website. It's on my Instagram, as well as you can just DM me, Facebook, as well as Instagram. I'm always open to actually get this education. It's free. I give free consultation. I also give a free needs analysis, so you can understand where you are, and I can really break down to see where you want to get to. So wherever you are, and understanding where you want to get to, What I'm saying is I can really break down to see if you want a college fund for your kids, whatever you may want to have or whatever you may need. If you want a tax-free retirement or something like that, whatever it may need, because I understand that we work, but do you really want a tax-free distribution of money, or do you want something that's going to be taxed later on in life? Because these are some things that we need to understand, because taxes is really something that we always looking at. I know a lot of memes and everything was circulating because of the Biden, or if Trump was going to be
I was
there.
thinking the same thing. Yeah, we want that Trump tax plan, cuz.
But it's all. But the rich people don't understand. I mean, the rich people understand how taxes work. We don't. You got
Right.
to understand. It's three ways. It's three levels of understanding how taxes work. You have things that's taxed now. You have things that's taxed later. Then you have things that's never taxed. All right, and things that's never taxed are what most of the rich people do.
Smart, man. I'm trying to be in that number. You hear me? Key to the City podcast, man. We appreciate this, King, brother. Hey, man, I salute you and what you're doing, brother. Keep pushing, keep being positive. You got people like me that's looking at you, man, and we really take heed to what you say. We need more brothers like you. So I'm glad that you was able to get on our platform, man, and I'm glad that I was able to provide another platform for you, bro. Keep on pushing, man, for real. And y'all go out there and support this brother as well. Any last words, my king?
Man, I'm thankful for this opportunity. I'm very thankful for everybody that's listening. And I'm luckily he picked me, man. Just little old me.
No, man. You the truth with it. And hopefully this won't be the last time, and we'll eventually get to meet in person as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But y'all definitely check him out. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Key to the City podcast, man. It's been another great one. I hope y'all learned something. He dropped some gems on us today. He is Daryl Arnold. Y'all go follow him at DA the Gold. And you can follow your boy YONI_Gway, Yoni Gway. And of course, Key to the City podcast, man. We appreciate y'all. Peace and blessings. We love y'all. All right, peace, King. Till next time, boss.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.